Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Leadership Power Paradigms. This is Bill Thomas, your host and presenter for today's episode. I hope everyone is well. We are going to wait a few more seconds for the rest of the gang to join us. And as we do that, I will get things almost ready to go. Let's see. Okay, good. And it looks like we've got good. We've got that going, and we need to bring up our slides, and we are just about ready to get going. Welcome, everybody, to this episode of Leadership Power Paradigms. This is Bill Thomas, your host and presenter for today's episode. During these next 14 or so minutes, we are going to look into how your leadership power energizes your defining, constructing, and employing of the essentials for pursuing your strategic intent and achieving better organizational results. So here we go. Instead of looking at putting together some specific strategy, we need to know what our tactical or competitive advantage has to be. You must understand that your tactics are an arrangement of your organizational resources. Later on, we'll see a short list of those resources. However, for now, we need to learn that every tactic could and should be evolved in terms of its potential influence, its possible intentions, and its immediate impact. As Professors Hamill and Prahalad suggest in their Strategic Intent article, it is management's, or actually leadership's, duty to fully engage, comprehensively empower, and thoroughly encourage their people, their actions, and their resource allocations into the pursuit and achievement of a strategic intent. While the professors advocate an active management involvement, you need to know that only your leadership power will enable you to perform all of these key tasks. Before you can ensure or be certain that your organization is focused on the essence of winning, or that people are being motivated through their understanding of the value of your strategic target, your leadership must help everyone to explore, examine, and execute on the right kinds or most effective types of things. And those things may include such items as ideas that help people envision solutions and make good decisions, instructions that guide and change people's behaviors, or innovative opportunities which tap into and expand the creativity of your people. As we explained earlier, your tactics, that is, the arrangements of all the resources listed at the bottom of this slide, your own resourcefulness, or what we might call your own tactical leadership communications, actions, and strategies, must proactively evolve its influence of, rigorously energize your intentions with, and definitively enrich your impacts upon the people, knowledge, money, systems, and other resources that you work with each and every day. Wise leaders always go out to where the land is most fertile, where its soil is likely to yield the best, most delicious fruit. Those leaders look for places where they can diversify and increase their chances for harvesting more than one type of food. They realize that planting seven different seeds are more likely to produce at least 4 or 5 lovely harvests. These 7 fields of focus are noble purposes, creation, service, righteousness, faith, leadership of and on, and time types. Before we can discuss this idea called leadership power, we had better quickly review what energy is. We now know that our understanding of the biological processes occurring within an organism or an ecological niche depends on our acceptance of the fact that these biologic processes are organized around information. It is those information sources, absorptions, and exchanges which form and sustain the biological or life giving, life sustaining, and life regenerating forces which we find at work in all socially based activities, which are those actions which involve or occur between two or more people, society's ecological niches, which are a sector or an area of a greater environment, and our social ecosystems, which tend to be self contained units within one part of a larger environment. This example diagram of the flows of information, knowledge, and various forms of data provides us with a tiny view of an ecosystem or organization's interactions with its greater environment and with its own socially based actors, such as its internal accounting and manufacturing or production systems. If you have not yet done so for your own organizational situation, you may wish to map out and diagram the various flows of information for your own organization too. Once you see what your power really is, you will want to effectively exercise your leadership power and use it to channel, amplify, magnify, and enhance your social energies, human capital, your cultural strengths, optimization opportunities, and catalytic agencies throughout your organization. In a nutshell, these three elements represent areas of your actual power as a professional, as a person, or as a leader. All three are in your possession at this very moment, and yet all three can be greatly expanded, extended, and improved through education, coaching, and mentoring, and even meditation. In my experiences of working with all types of leaders, I have found that most leaders invest very little time, attention, or money into their own development and strengthening of their power elements. How about you? When it comes to investing your resources into building up your power, are you the same as most leaders? There are important reasons for using the power of your leadership abilities, strengths, talents, and insights. Every leader will need to involve themselves in making inroads and opening up pathways to discover new solutions or better opportunities for their challenges. You'll want to continuously and robustly produce improvements, and you have to devote your attention to shaping innovations, inventions, and investigations into the boundaries of your frontiers. The short answer is it's whenever you communicate information like meanings for the work and contributions or impacts of your people, instructions that help people grow more proficient and confident in their abilities, ideas that solicit additional suggestions from your people, inspirational messages that encourage or edify and build up feelings of commitment, wellness, or worthiness in your people, insightful findings which influence your people to develop richer, more practical innovations and creative solutions. In every human action, there are four dimensions: an action on, which is physical; an action with, which is intellectual or mental; an action for, which is spiritual or emotional; and an action towards, which is developmental or capacity building in nature. For example, you can choose any one or more of these aspects of action to better create and make room for more valuable individual or team contributions to your organization, or sustain employee enthusiasm by providing operational definitions which add greater value and higher quality to their working experiences. I hope you learned some strategies, processes, and practices you can use to better define, assemble, and construct essential elements for transforming your strategic intent into a tangible reality. Also, you hopefully might have seen how to effectively employ your leadership power in the pursuit and prosecution of all the tactical evolutions discussed in the strategic intent article, and which are absolutely required to help you achieve your organizational performance goals and objectives. This ends today's lesson. Now, you are looking at a catalog of materials, training, and coaching support, which are featured in my Leadership Power Paradigms Producer Tools program. You can see that this program is designed to dramatically improve your leadership performances and use your leadership strengths to comprehensively empower the achievements of your people. Right now, this program is available to you at my lowest possible price, so I urge you to visit the webpage at www.1-iam.com/LPP-tools, or click on the Enroll and Get Started Now button on the right side of your screen. And if you like what you read on that page, go ahead and get going now. Don't forget, there is my famous no questions asked, no risk to you 30-day money back guarantee for this program, so you really have nothing to lose by enrolling now in this awesome educational program. Now, I'm going to run back to our control panel so that I can give you the links to our two bonus gifts for this episode. And let's see, there's something there, so I can send that off to you. And I'm also going to use my other control panel too. That always helps. Uh, and as you're looking at these two bonus gifts, one is the 5 leadership uplifter tasks infographic. It is a PDF document. All you need to do is to download it, print it out on your computer, and put that printout on your desk, and that way you can refer to that infographic each and every day as you go through your leadership duties and tasks. And I think you'll find those 5 uplifter tasks very helpful. There's an explanation for each one, and I think most of them you'll say, oh yeah, I haven't done that today, or I haven't done that for a long time. That's one gift. And the second gift is also a PDF document. That is an 8-page Words with Wisdom paper, and it's called The Rainbow Moment of Black Elk. And it contains a number of tips and principles and strategies and ideas that we discussed both during this episode of our Leadership Power Paradigms webinars, as well as previous episodes as well. So I think you'll find that very helpful too, but I strongly suggest that when you do download the infographic, that you do print it out. That's not something that you can really look at online as readily as being able to look at the piece of paper. And also, for those of you who are joining us on the replay recording of this episode, I strongly encourage you and urge you to send in your questions or your comments about what was covered in this episode of Leadership Power Paradigms, or any leadership related topic or subject, and just send me your question or comment. When you click the email button on the question box on the right hand side of your screen, it will automatically email your question or comment to me. It will include your email as well as your name, whatever you use to register for this program anyway, so that works out very nicely. And if you'd like me to further discuss any of those, my answers or my ideas or thoughts about what you're asking about or what you made a comment about, you can include your phone number if you are located in Canada or in the US. If you're located in the United States or in Canada, then I would urge you to include your phone number. If you are located outside of Canada or the US, I then urge you to include your Skype ID, and I will give you a call using Skype. And that way, you might even get yourself, if you use Skype, uh, I love to share documents that either I've written or that I've got my hands on, and that way you can get a more complete answer, a complete response to what we were discussing on the Skype call. Of course, I can't do that on a regular phone line, but if you are located in Canada or the US, once again, I say include your phone number or include your Skype ID. And if you're located outside of Canada or the US, then please include your Skype ID, and I will give you a call using Skype, and we can have a nice little discussion. And of course, that is a free and no obligation discussion, so don't worry about it. There will be no charge for that. Anyway, I'm looking at our chat area. I don't see any questions or comments from those of you attending the live broadcast. I will also mention one other thing, is that there is a foundational text reference, and that is the title and the link to the strategic intent article that was in the 2005 July-August issue of Harvard Business Review. And you can click on that link and be able to read that entire article for yourself, so that that way you don't have to rely on just the very short bit that I shared with you during this episode. Anyway, it's a pretty long article, but it's an exceptionally important concept to understand. So I strongly urge you all to take a look at it, read through it. If you need to copy it out and put it on some sort of notepad or something that's easier for you to read, fine. Otherwise, read it online. And once again, I strongly urge you all to read that article. It's a great article, and it's extremely helpful for all of us, regardless of whether you think you are dealing with strategic intent or not, because actually you are. All of us are. So, this is Bill Thomas. I'm going to say thanks again for joining us in this today's episode of our Leadership Power Paradigms webinars. I say God bless each and every one of you, and Godspeed to you all. And I wish each and every one of you the very best of success in all of your leadership endeavors. And I look forward to seeing you in a future episode of our Leadership Power Paradigms. Take care and be well.